My friends, let me ask you something. Have you ever waited for a message that never came? A phone call that never rang? Have you ever stared at your screen, hoping their name would pop up, but it didn't? And slowly, that silence began to speak louder than any words ever could. Silence can be heavy. It can feel like rejection, abandonment, or betrayal. But I want to tell you something that might change how you see it. Sometimes, when people stop calling, when they stop messaging, it's not a sign of your worth. It's a sign of your growth. When someone disappears from your life, don't chase them. Don't beg for their attention. Don't lose your peace trying to understand why they walked away. Because sometimes God removes certain people from your life for reasons you don't yet see. Maybe their season in your story has ended. Maybe they were never meant to stay for the next chapter. You see, in life, everyone has a role. Some are lessons, some are blessings, and some are both. But one of the hardest lessons to learn is that not everyone who starts with you is meant to finish with you. When people stop calling, it forces you to look inward. It teaches you that your peace cannot depend on someone else's presence. It teaches you to find strength in solitude, to rediscover who you are without the noise, without the validation, without the attention. Because sometimes you have to lose people to find yourself. Maybe they forgot you. Maybe they got busy. Maybe they changed. But here's the truth. Even if they did, you don't have to. Don't let someone's silence make you question your value. Don't let their absence make you forget your importance. You are still enough, even when no one reminds you. Think about it. When someone stops calling, you gain time. Time to build yourself. Time to grow. Time to focus on the dreams you've been delaying while waiting for someone to notice you. Stop waiting for a text to validate your worth. Start building a life that makes people wish they hadn't lost you. The world will not stop because someone stopped calling. Your story doesn't end because someone stopped showing up. The universe doesn't shrink because someone walked away. If anything, this is your moment to rise, stronger, wiser, freer. There's a powerful peace that comes when you stop chasing people who don't choose you. When you stop checking your phone, hoping for a message. When you finally realize that your joy doesn't depend on anyone else's attention. That peace is self-respect. You see, those who are meant for you, they don't forget you. They don't vanish for months without a word. They make time for you, even when life gets busy. They reach out, they check in, they care. But if they don't, let them go. Because forcing connection is like watering a dead plant. It will never bloom again. So, the next time someone doesn't call or message you for a long time, don't take it as rejection. Take it as redirection. Maybe life is trying to free you from attachments that no longer serve your future. Maybe silence is your teacher. Maybe absence is your protection. Use that silence to grow in self-love. Pick up that book you've been meaning to read. Go for that walk. Start that business. Heal from what hurt you. Because the best revenge to being forgotten is not bitterness. It's becoming the person no one can ignore. When you stop depending on others for validation, you start to glow differently. You start attracting peace, not drama. Growth, not gossip. And real people, not temporary ones. So, stop refreshing your messages. Stop wondering why they don't care. And start realizing maybe life is asking you to care about yourself a little more. One day, they'll see the version of you that emerged from their silence. Stronger, happier, unstoppable. And they'll realize what they lost. But by then, you won't need their call, their message, or their approval. Because you'll already have something far greater. peace. You don't need everyone to remember you. You just need to remember who you are. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are loved, even in silence. There comes a moment in every person's life when silence hurts more than words ever could. You wait for a message that doesn't come, a call that never rings, and a voice that once felt so close begins to fade into memory. You check your phone again and again, hoping for a sign, a response, a reason. But all you're left with is silence. And that silence begins to whisper lies. Maybe I'm not important. Maybe they don't care. Maybe I did something wrong. But those whispers are not the truth. The truth is this: silence does not define your worth. Your worth was never tied to someone's attention. It was never based on how many people message you, call you, or stay in your life. Your worth was written the moment you took your first breath. You are valuable simply because you exist, and nothing anyone does or doesn't do can take that away from you. When people stop calling, it's easy to let insecurity speak louder than truth. But silence doesn't always mean rejection. Sometimes it means redirection. Sometimes life removes people from your path, not to punish you, but to protect you. When someone stops reaching out, it can leave a void. But that space is not meant to stay empty. It's meant to be filled with growth, purpose, and rediscovery. It's a sacred opportunity to meet yourself again without the noise of others' opinions, expectations, or inconsistencies. It's a chance to ask, who am I when the world is quiet? Because that's when you truly find yourself. People come and go, and often their silence is not about you at all. Some people are fighting silent battles you'll never see. Some are lost in their own confusion, pain, or distractions. And some were only meant to walk with you for a season, not a lifetime. The problem is, we often mistake temporary connections for permanent ones. We hold on to what was never meant to stay. But when you learn to release, when you learn to bless their silence and move forward, you free yourself from the prison of needing their validation. Think about it. If someone's absence has the power to break you, then maybe you gave them too much control over your happiness. True strength is found when you can still stand tall, even when no one is clapping for you. When you can smile, even when no one is checking on you. When you can say, I'm enough, even when the world forgets to remind you. You don't need a call to feel connected. You don't need a message to feel remembered. You don't need attention to feel alive. You are already whole. You are already enough. The world might forget, but your purpose will not. And when you stop depending on others for approval, that's when your inner peace begins to grow. Sometimes silence is not a punishment, it's preparation. Preparation for the next chapter, the next opportunity, the next version of you. When people step away, it creates space. Space for healing, for clarity, and for new beginnings. In that quiet, you start to hear your own voice again. You start to listen to your heart, to your dreams, to your calling. You realize that the attention you were chasing outside was waiting to be found inside. Yes, it hurts when someone forgets you. It hurts when they don't check in, don't ask how you're doing, don't seem to care anymore. But pain, when faced with courage, becomes power. Use that pain as fuel. Let it remind you that you can love deeply and still survive being unloved in return. It teaches you that you can care for others without losing yourself in the process. Stop checking your phone, waiting for someone to remember you. Instead, use that energy to remember yourself, your dreams, your goals, your worth. Focus on becoming so fulfilled within that you don't need a message to make your day better. You don't need a call to feel loved. Because the truth is, you already are loved by the universe, loved by your Creator, loved by the person you're becoming. And one day, those who stayed silent will see the glow in your eyes, the peace in your soul, and they'll realize what they lost. But by then, you won't be waiting anymore. You won't be bitter either. You'll just smile because you'll know their silence was your blessing. It taught you to stop seeking love in temporary people and start finding it in a permanent place, within yourself. The silence you once feared will become your teacher. It will show you who truly values you and who only valued what you could give them. It will teach you to appreciate solitude, to find beauty in stillness, and to grow without needing constant reassurance. Because when you stop trying to fill every silence with noise, that's when you begin to hear the truth. You were never lacking anything. You just needed time to see it. So, if someone hasn't called or messaged you in a long time, don't chase them. Don't beg for attention. Don't let their distance make you question your light. Keep shining anyway. Keep loving anyway. Keep living anyway. Because real confidence comes from knowing that whether people stay or leave, you'll still be standing strong. People who truly care for you won't forget you. They won't vanish without a word. They'll make time, even when it's hard. They'll check in, even when they're busy. And if they don't, that's okay too. It simply means their part in your story is over. Be grateful for what they taught you, and then move on with grace. Your value is not measured in calls, messages, or attention. It's measured in kindness, in courage, in the way you rise every time life tries to break you. It's measured in how you keep your heart open, even when others turn away. It's measured in how you love yourself through every silence, every heartbreak, every lonely night. So let go of the need to be remembered and start remembering who you are. The silence that once hurt you will one day heal you. The distance that once broke you will one day build you. Because when you finally realize that your worth doesn't come from others, that's when you become unstoppable. Silence doesn't define your worth. You do. Your kindness does. Your strength does. Your faith does. And no amount of absence can take that away from you. Walk forward. Hold your head high. And if your phone stays quiet, let it be. Because peace sounds a lot like silence. Let go to grow. Those words sound simple, but they hold a truth that many people spend years, even a lifetime, trying to understand. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about recognizing that some chapters are meant to end so your story can continue. When someone doesn't call or message you for a long time, it hurts. It feels personal. You start wondering what you did wrong, what changed, or why they suddenly disappeared. You replay old conversations in your head, trying to find clues to what went wrong. You scroll through your phone, seeing their name, their pictures, their messages, and your heart aches because you remember how close things used to be. But here's the truth: silence is an answer, and sometimes it's the most honest one you'll ever receive. When someone stops showing up, it's not always your fault. Sometimes people leave because they're no longer meant to walk with you where you're going. Sometimes their part in your life was never meant to last forever. It's painful, yes, but that pain has purpose. Because when people pull away, you learn to stand taller on your own. You learn to stop depending on their attention and start depending on your strength. You learn that your peace cannot be in someone's presence, and your worth cannot be measured by their call. We live in a world where attention has become currency: a text message, a call, a like, a reply. We measure our value by it, But what happens when it stops? When the people you cared for stop reaching out? That's when life teaches you one of its hardest lessons. You don't need everyone to stay to become someone strong. Let go to grow. Because sometimes holding on keeps you from healing. You can't move forward if your hands are still holding on to what's gone. The longer you wait for that one message, that one call, that one apology, the longer you keep yourself stuck in yesterday. And nothing grows in yesterday. Growth begins when you make peace with silence. When you stop asking, why? And start saying, thank you. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the time. Thank you for showing me that I can stand, even when I thought I couldn't. Because every goodbye carries within it a seed of strength, if you choose to plant it instead of mourning it. Maybe that person was never meant to be your forever. Maybe they came to teach you something. How to love, how to forgive, how to trust, or even how to let go. And when their lesson was complete, life moved them aside so you could step into something greater. You see, holding on to people who have already let go is like trying to water a dead plant. No matter how much love you pour into it, it won't bloom again. And the more you try to revive what's already gone, the more you drain yourself of the energy you need to grow something new. When you learn to release what no longer serves you, life begins to open new doors. You start attracting peace instead of pain. You start noticing blessings you once ignored because you were too busy holding on to the past. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop suffering. It means you choose yourself. And that's not selfish. It's sacred. Because your heart, your time, and your energy are sacred. You were not created to chase people who choose to forget you. You were created to become someone who inspires others even in silence. So, when someone doesn't call or message you for a long time, don't sit in sadness, rise in strength. Use that quiet time to reflect, to rebuild, to rediscover who you are. Spend time improving yourself, nurturing your dreams, healing your heart. Because one day, you'll look back and realize that their silence was actually your beginning. You'll see that what felt like rejection was really redirection, leading you away from what could have broken you and guiding you toward what will fulfill you. You'll understand that you didn't lose them. You found you. Letting go allows room for new things to grow. It opens space for new people, new blessings, new opportunities. Sometimes what you're praying for can't reach you because your hands are still full of what needs to leave. So, stop checking your phone every 5 minutes. Stop waiting for that name to light up your screen. Instead, light up your own life. Write your goals. Build your dreams. Strengthen your faith. Fill your time with things that bring you peace instead of pain. Because one day, you'll thank yourself for not chasing what wasn't meant for you. You'll thank yourself for walking away from what didn't value you. And you'll realize that letting go was the best thing you ever did, because it gave you back your power. True growth begins when you stop trying to prove your worth to those who walked away. You don't need to convince anyone to see your value. The right people will see it naturally. The wrong ones will never see it, no matter how much you give. And remember this, if someone really cares, they will make time. No one is ever too busy for the people they truly value. If they wanted to call, they would. If they wanted to check in, they would. Silence speaks volumes. And if their silence tells you they've moved on, respect it and move forward. Growth is quiet. Healing is lonely. But both are powerful. You will cry, you will question, you will miss them. But you will rise. You will become stronger than you ever thought possible. You will smile again, not because they returned, but because you no longer need them to. So, if someone hasn't called or messaged you in a long time, let it be. Don't chase what's gone. Let go to grow, because your future is waiting, and it's far too beautiful to waste on people who left you behind. One day, they may reach out again. They may realize what they lost. But by then, you'll have found something far greater: peace, purpose, and self-respect. You won't be waiting for their call anymore, because you'll be too busy answering your calling. Let go, my friend. Grow beyond the silence. Your worth is not in their attention. It's in your existence. There's a certain age that comes when the phone doesn't ring, when the messages you once received every day suddenly stop, when the people who used to check in on you go silent, and you're left wondering what happened. Did you do something wrong? Did they forget you? Did they stop caring? Those thoughts can echo loudly in your heart, making you question your worth. But I want you to pause for a moment and understand something powerful. Silence is not rejection, it's revelation. It reveals who truly values you, who makes time for you, and who was only there out of convenience. When someone doesn't call or message you for a long time, it might hurt, but it's also an invitation to grow. It's a moment where life is whispering to you, it's time to stand on your own. It's time to stop seeking validation and start building strength. Because the truth is, your value has never depended on someone else's attention. There was a time when you would drop everything just to reply instantly, to make sure they knew you cared. You would check your phone again and again, waiting for a reply that didn't come. But deep down, you knew. You were giving energy to someone who wasn't matching it. You were pouring into a cup that had no intention of pouring back. And that's the moment when life starts teaching you one of its greatest lessons, that not everyone who starts with you is meant to stay with you. People come and go. Some enter your life to teach you love, others to teach you loss. Some leave you stronger, some leave you wiser, and some leave you in silence so you can finally hear your own voice again. You don't need to chase people who walk away. You don't need to beg for a call or wait for a message that may never come. Because what is meant for you will always find you. And what's not meant for you will always fade away, no matter how tightly you hold on. When someone stops reaching out, instead of asking, why don't they care? Start asking, what is life trying to teach me through this? Maybe it's teaching you patience. Maybe it's teaching you to prioritize yourself. Maybe it's preparing you for people who will never go silent, who will love you without hesitation, who will call without needing a reason. And maybe, just maybe, that silence is protection. Maybe it's God's way of removing distractions so you can focus on becoming who you were meant to be. Because sometimes peace doesn't come with more people. It comes when you learn to be okay without them. You see, loneliness isn't always a curse. Sometimes it's the birthplace of strength. When no one calls, when no one messages, that's when you discover how powerful you really are. You begin to do things not because someone is watching or cheering you on, but because you believe in yourself. You stop needing attention and start creating purpose. People who truly love you won't forget you. They won't vanish for weeks or months without a word. They will make time even when life is busy. Because love isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. But if someone walks away, if they stop reaching out, you don't have to lose yourself in the process. Every ending is also a beginning. Every silence gives birth to strength. And every unanswered message is a reminder that not everyone deserves access to your heart. There's a kind of peace that comes when you stop chasing people. A peace that whispers, "I am enough." A peace that reminds you that your worth is not measured by who texts you back, but by how deeply you love yourself when no one else does. Don't let someone's absence steal your joy. Don't let their silence control your emotions. Don't let their distance make you forget your beauty, your value, your light. Because real confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, and rooted in the truth that you don't need anyone to complete you. You were already whole from the start. Maybe they'll come back one day. Maybe they'll realize what they lost. But by then, you'll have grown so much that you won't even need the closure. You'll smile not because they returned, but because you finally understand you didn't lose them. They lost someone who truly cared. When people stop calling or messaging, it's not a reflection of your failure, it's a reflection of their choice. You can't control what others do, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to stay bitter, or you can choose to get better. You can choose to dwell on what's gone, or you can rise and become everything you were meant to be. Use that silence. Don't waste it crying over what could have been. Use it to build. Use it to read, to learn, to grow. Turn that pain into progress. Turn that loneliness into purpose. Because one day, you'll look back and thank the silence for giving you space to find yourself. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to remember you. The right people will always find their way back. And the wrong ones will teach you lessons that make you stronger for the right ones. You deserve people who text first. People who call because they care. People who don't need a reminder to show up. But until they come, learn to be your own source of love. Be your own friend. Celebrate your own growth. Because when you start to love your own company, you'll stop fearing solitude. One day you'll wake up and realize the silence no longer hurts. You'll stop checking your phone every few minutes. You'll stop wondering why they disappeared. You'll stop hoping for closure, because you'll finally understand you don't need anyone's message to feel seen. You don't need anyone's call to feel worthy. You are enough as you are. You are loved even in silence. You are valuable even when forgotten. And the people who truly matter will never need reminding of your worth. So, when someone doesn't call or message you for a long time, don't chase, don't beg, don't break. Smile, breathe, and let life unfold. Because sometimes the silence that hurts the most becomes the silence that heals the deepest. You don't need everyone to stay. You just need peace. And peace begins when you stop waiting for the phone to ring and start listening to the strength already ringing inside your heart.